Hello everybody, this is Bit Informant here. I just wanted to do a video today about some frequent sites I visit on a typical, typical Bitcoin person. One of the most common sites I visit is poloniex.com. So that's POLONIEX.com. Now what Poloniex is a Bitcoin altcoin exchange. Um, I assume you know what altcoins are. They are just digital currencies like Bitcoin. Most of them rely on the same type of code base and structure. Others have vastly different or completely rewritten code bases. But anything that's not Bitcoin but is a blockchain-based cryptocurrency is an altcoin. And essentially anyone can create an altcoin, so there's thousands and thousands and thousands of them. But there's only a handful of pretty good ones. So at least anything I'd even recommend any of my followers to put money into, or let's say Bitcoin into. So let's look at the exchange, for example. The exchange is where I spend most of my time on Poloniex. I don't really ever get into margin trading or lending. I think these are more advanced topics, and you can discover those later if you haven't discovered them yet. So Poloniex, if we go to markets over here, you see you have a Bitcoin market, you have an Ethereum market, you have a Monero market. For those of you who don't know, XMR is Monero, and you have a USD market. Now, some people get confused by the ETH and XMR. Essentially, there's Ethereum pairs that are traded in ETH, and I believe these are all Ethereum smart contract tokens. So Golem, Ethereum Classic, Zcash, Lisk, Augur, Steem. No, that's incorrect. Zcash is not. Steem is not. Anyways, I don't confuse you with that. But those are the Ethereum pairs. Never once traded those. Doubt I ever will. Doesn't mean you can't. I just never got into them. Same with Monero. But I have traded the Bitcoin USD market on Poloniex, and sometimes USD markets of these other markets. But keep in mind that it's a USDT, so that means it's tethered. When you sell, say, a Bitcoin for $1,230, you have tethered USD currency. You can't withdraw that USD. To get your money off the exchange, you have to buy either an altcoin or a Bitcoin to remove it from the exchange. So, as far as I'm aware, there are no pathways in or out of Poloniex via fiat USD. So the gateways in and out of Poloniex are Bitcoin and all the altcoins. So you can deposit money in your account via all of these. And the most common is Bitcoin. So typically when I set people up and we start their account with, I don't know, just whatever value they feel comfortable and whatever investing, trading balance fits their lifestyle. And we do that in Bitcoin. So yeah, you can see that mine is initially arranged by volume. So I'm looking at the coins that are the highest volume. And when you see these prices, it's confusing at first. This 0.015, that is in Satoshis. So this in Satoshi is the smallest divisible unit of Bitcoin. So you can see that Ethereum is trading for 1,522,389 Satoshis, or 0.01522,389 Bitcoin. So it might take a little adjusting to get familiar with these prices, but it's pretty simple. Volume is also in Bitcoin, so today Ethereum traded almost 8,000 Bitcoins worth of volume. Here's its change today in percentage, its name, and of course its ticker symbol over here on the left. So Poloniex, you can actually star the markets you want to look at. So right now you can see it's not checked. So I guess it stars all by default, but if we uncheck that box, well, I think it's starred all mine by default, but anyways, you can unstar them, and notice when I click the star button, those two disappear, so I think you get the point. My other account is set up so I only look at maybe Dash, Monero, Ethereum Classic, Factum, Zcash, Litecoin, New Economy Movement, Rep, a few others I look at and here and there. But it's easy to spread yourself thin in these markets. You just got to pick a couple and just really learn the system yourself. Don't try to jump in unless you really know what you're doing. So yeah, anyways, for example, let's look at a market. Let's go to the Dash market. Wait while the chart loads. So up here we have the Dash exchange. It's the ticker symbol is Dash. Here's the pair. It's a Dash per Bitcoin. Here's the latest price information. The last price was 0.0372 Bitcoin. Today's change was plus 2.10%. And you have your 24-hour high and your 24-hour low. Now right here you have a full-blown chart. This is your price chart. Now this is a candle chart if you're not familiar with how to read candles. Essentially green means the price increased during the time frame, and each candle is a width in time. And you can control that candle down here by the candlestick. So let's make the candles 5 minutes in width. And so what it's going to do is it's going to reload the chart and put our candles in widths of 5 minutes. Apparently my internet connection is slow. Well, let's look at, while it's loading, I apologize for that slow internet, I'm at a coffee shop here. You have your typical troll box, some notices, important things. You can find the latest coins that have been added to the exchange. And here you have, this is how you buy Dash, sell Dash, and you can set your stop limits. Now, stop limits are a pretty important part of trading. If you don't understand those, we'll get in those in a more advanced video in the future. But right now, so for example, right now I have my balance available to buy Dash is 0.759 Bitcoin. And so here's the lowest ask price. So you can see that's the 0046, and that's right up here. Asks are sells. Bids are buys. So over here you have asks and bids. So if you want to buy Dash, you come in here and you say I want to buy 10 Dash. Well, if I buy those at the market price, which is the lowest ask order, which is going to be this number, I can put that number in here. I can select 10, and that's going to cost me 0.373 Bitcoin. I'm not going to buy those right now because I'm just not going to. I'm just showing you how to buy them. If you would, you can hit buy. That's pretty funny. I thought it was going to give me a confirmation. Okay, so I just bought 10 Dash. So that's a good note that I was going to show you that it had a confirmation dialog to buy, to confirm the buy, but it does not. But the good news is I think I'll hold on to those 10 Dash for a little while. I think we might see another run up in the price. I was looking to accumulate a bit anyways. Anyways, that was a pretty funny coincidence there, but let's move on. So down here we have our sell orders and our buy orders. Now you can see the total Dash that's for sale, which is 31,000 Dash. That's not that much out of the total supply. You can go look at the total supply of Dash. And here's the buy orders. You have about 1,500 Bitcoins in buy. And here's the graphical representation of these two charts. You can see the buy wall and the sell volume. You can go down to my open orders and your trade history, and you can go to my trade history, and you can see all your buys and sells. Now you can go to several different account features here and look at different things. Another cool thing they have is like my trade history analysis. You can type a coin in here and see how you did over time. And you can kind of see some of my buys and sells here. I think I took a hit on Made. Dash was pretty good for me, but I don't want to go into my trade so much. I'm here to show you about how this all works. So yeah, Poloniex, you come here to trade altcoins. You can be a long-term investor and hold altcoins, or you can buy and sell short-term and accumulate Bitcoin. My goal, I started trading Bitcoin with the idea to accumulate altcoins and hold them because I thought they were going to go up a lot. But I don't do that anymore. My goal now is to accumulate Bitcoin, and I short-term hold altcoins. And my game plan's always changing and adjusting to what I feel. Definitely haven't tailored it all in yet. Not claiming to be an expert trader here, just showing you some of the websites I use. Now, if you need to buy Bitcoin, I refer new people to Coinbase.com, because from Coinbase you can simply link your bank account. You can link your credit card to verify different withdrawal and purchase limits. It's a pretty standardized way to buy Bitcoin. It's very trusted. It's backed by reputable people. I've used it for several years. I've purchased a lot of Bitcoin off Coinbase. I definitely recommend it. So you go here to buy Bitcoin with your dollars. If you don't want to buy it from Coinbase, you can go to local Bitcoins. Oh yeah, be sure to check out the affiliate link in the description for my referral link to Coinbase. That'd be nice if you guys could use that. You could go to localbitcoins.com, and this is a more person-to-person, face-to-face type of Bitcoin exchange, where you can meet up with someone. Say, right now I'm in Hood River, Oregon. I could go find someone, I don't know, some guy down the road or some gal selling some Bitcoin. I can give them cash. There's a variety of different options to pay. Like you can see, there's a Walmart to Walmart card. I would be really careful about that. Things like gift cards, you got to watch out for scams. I mean, digital currency area is ripe for scamming, obviously. Use your highest level of thinking, your most logic. Don't, if it looks too good to be true, it is. Well, not necessarily. There's been some incredible things in crypto so far, so that were real. But yeah, this is another way to get Bitcoins with your dollars. You can also look at Craigslist, which you probably won't have very much luck. You might score something. There's a few other US dollar to Bitcoin sites that you can do. You can find a friend who has Bitcoin for sale. If you have a way to sell something, your services or a product, you could start accumulating Bitcoin that way. I've heard people doing that, and it's a very smart thing to do. So let's move on to another site here. This is onebroker.com. OneBroker is a pretty awesome site. So what they do is they're an exchange, but they don't just have cryptocurrency markets. Actually, if you look at their markets, they only have one cryptocurrency market. I don't know why they're not showing all the markets. List of all for the markets. So these are all the indices and markets combined. So essentially, what OneBroker does. Oh, this is all. These are all the markets combined. So yeah, they have one crypto market, and that's Bitcoin USD. You can only trade Bitcoin. That's the only digital currency you can trade here. So you can long or short Bitcoin. And you see they have several Forex markets. And the list is getting larger and larger. This site's really awesome if you have experience Forex trading and you want to do that in the background of Bitcoin, in the common currency of Bitcoin. It's a great place to do it. They have commodities such as silver, gold, crude oil. You can trade all that in the underlying currency of Bitcoin. So you can buy oil shares with Bitcoin and sell them in Bitcoin and profit in Bitcoin. Same with all these stocks: Yahoo, Western Union, Volkswagen, Snapchat. Hope you don't buy that. Twitter, PepsiCo, and then stocks. And you have indices. You have S&P 500, Nasdaq, the Nikkei, the Dow Jones, and all those guys. So essentially what one broker does in summary is allow you to trade traditional markets in Bitcoin. Forex, indices, commodities. It bridges the gap so you no longer have to have a fiat account of dollars, for example, to trade Euro USD. You can now trade Euro USD in Bitcoin. One broker is a site I trust. I've had a one broker account for, I think, nearing 2 years now. I'm not sure how old the site is, but it feels like it's been about 2 years since I've had a one broker account. One of the awesome things they just did, well, they have a social feature when you log in that allows you to follow other people's trades, which is pretty awesome. You can look at the top traders, you can see their profits and loss, you can see their percentages increase, and you can copy their trades, and you pay them a tiny fraction to copy their trade, and you get the same profit or loss they do. Now, I wouldn't just say go autopilot on that and start copying everyone, but it's a really interesting feature to check out. I'm not logged in right now, but it usually appears up here as social. And when you log in, you can see that social tab, and I actually copied a trade the other day and made a little bit of Bitcoin off it, so that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I would highly recommend starting with one broker. But before you get into trading at all, make sure you understand risk management and you're responsible with your money. Don't go lose it. I mean, you can turn all this into gambling if you don't know what you're doing, and you will get drained. That's just a cautionary detail there. I don't want to be responsible for poor investment choices. And I want to move over to some plotting stuff. A really great site to use is tradingview.com. TradingView is not just crypto. It has all the crypto charts from Poloniex on it. So any pair you see on Poloniex, you can find the chart on TradingView. But along with that, you find all Forex, commodities, indices, all that other stuff on TradingView. But since we're crypto guys for right now, let's look at BTC USD. So here's Bitcoin USD, and you have several that pop up. But you see they're all under different exchanges, and I mean, Mt. Gox, I don't even hear anymore. You see the futures markets down here, 3 month, 2 week, 1 week. You see, here's Poloniex, Bitcoin Tether. But for now, let's look at kind of the gold standard in USD, which is Bitstamp. So yeah, here's the Bitcoin price in dollars. You can see I have some red trend lines drawn on here from an earlier analysis I was doing. Right now you're looking at the 5-minute chart as shown up here in the upper left-hand corner. Now if you guys aren't familiar with candlestick charts, you should go research them. I'm sure I explained them in some other videos, but the width of these candles are 5 minutes long. The green shows that it's gone up during that time frame. Red has gone down. The solid bands are the open and close values. And the wicks, the white wicks here, are the minimum and maximum value it went during that time frame. And so you can see I drew a couple trend lines on this little descending wedge pattern right here that's been forming on the 5-minute time frame. So last night, let's move to a 1-day chart. So up here we're going to go to 5-minute, and we're going to go to 1 day. I don't know what this little red line down here is, but we'll delete it. Now I use the free version of TradingView. You can buy the pro version for, I don't know their price, maybe it's like $30 a month or something. If you use charts a lot and you can afford it, it's a really good deal, but to me, I haven't used it yet, so I just deal with these little advertisements. So I just had a little trend line drawn here on the 1-day chart, and I woke up today and I saw that it just broke through it. But it had a really strong correction, or a retrace. Retraced almost immediately back up, and I saw that. I opened a small position along at 12:30, and I held it foolishly up to like 12:60, and finally sold when it was going back down in this little descending wedge, and I made a tiny little profit, but nothing to toot my horn about. What I'm really watching now is this chart for the next few days for the Bitcoin ETF that's supposed to be passing in March 11th. But yeah, that's a whole different thing. That's a news. I'm trying to show you how to use this interface right now. Right here I have the Gambit trading suite. This is a customized piece of code that is available to private members of the Gambit trading club. Anyone can become a member. The price does get more steep as Bitcoin gets more expensive. I believe I paid 0.75 Bitcoin for the membership. So you can look into that yourself and see if that's something you want to do. I'll give you just a little taste of what it does. It colors the candles in certain ways based on formulations from Colin Crypto, and he has documents to describe what the colors mean. You can set up many other features in here, Ichimoku clouds, all that stuff. But that's a little advanced. We're not going to go into that right now. I'm going to turn that off. You see I have a volume indicator here. I can turn that off. That just shows how much volume in Bitcoin is traded during that time frame. And you have you have probably hundreds of other different indicators here. I mean, you can add Bollinger Bands. So you just click it, add it, and now you can see I have my Bollinger Bands on here. You can zoom out and see. If you don't know about Bollinger Bands, look them up. Quite interesting. You can turn those off. So yeah, if you want to look at, like, say, the 1 month chart of Bitcoin, what a beautiful chart. The width of each line here is 1 month. And you can just see what a beautiful cup. It's pretty fascinating to see that. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart again. This is a really short time frame. I really want to see it bounce off this strong trend line right here. Find some support here and not break through this. That'd be pretty nice. So if you don't know about trend line and technical analysis, it's pretty deep stuff. I'm definitely not an expert at it. I can hold my own. I can draw trend lines and figure out patterns and triangles and all that stuff, and head and shoulders. But you know what? Sometimes buying and holding is the best strategy. So I'm going to let you guys kind of figure out what you want to do. But for me, trading's fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. Buying and holding for a long time just gets kind of boring. Anyways, there's a lot more to learn about TradingView, but this is just a little quick brief of it. Just head on over there, start loading up ticker symbols, check things out. I mean, if you want to look up something other than crypto, type in like SPX. Sorry, my internet is super slow right now. So SPX is the S&P 500. We can pull that up. You see this where it hits the all-time high, breaks 2,400. Whoo! And then it's kind of fallen back down, it renormalized. So yeah, here's the S&P 500. Here's our ad we get. So you have some trend lines drawn on here. Well, let's go over to... Actually, before we move over to coin.dance, I'm going to look at bitcoinwisdom.com. This is another pretty good charting interface here. It's much more simple and less complex than TradingView. You just click on Bitstamp here, and here's the Bitstamp price. Pretty clean interface here. You buy and sell walls, your price volume. You have settings up here. You can do the EMA, exponential moving average, Bollinger Bands, candlesticks. You can change all the chart properties. You can go to a logarithmic chart if you'd like. There's tons of different things here. You can set alarms over here. You can set an alarm by double clicking over here. See how that green alarm comes up? You have BTCE, Bitfinex, OKCoin, Litecoin, all sorts of markets over here. So go check out Bitcoin Wisdom and see, just get a different experience looking at Bitcoin that way. Another really awesome site that's come up on the scenes is coin.dance. Now you head on over there and you can see a variety of different statistics. I really only have looked at this statistics tab. I've looked at some of these other ones down here, and volume is one of the more fascinating ones to look at. So like I mentioned before, local Bitcoin's volume charts. We can click here, see their global Bitcoin volume, and look at it. It just went off the chart. Well, it significantly increased in the past 2 months or so. And if you look, it breaks it down into certain countries. You don't really see that big of an increase in Argentina. You see an increase in Australia. But if you go down, look at Brazil just going right up. The big player right now is China. So before this big spike happened, I remember this chart, and it was, if you can see my mouse, it came up like this, all the way up here. But since this big spike came in, it literally compressed this whole chart down to nothing. This is a huge increase in volume. You see it over here, not as dramatic. Look at Colombia. Yeah, so it's really fun to go through here and scroll and see what countries are adopting Bitcoin and where it's growing. Look at Nigeria. Just came online just recently. Norway's building up steam. Russia, that's a pretty solid chart right there. So yeah, this is a really good site to come get. Here's the United States. So we just hit an all-time high just recently also. Look at Venezuela, just peeking out right there. So those are really fun ones to look at. Now you can use Pax full volume. That's a different type of exchange in BitSquare. You can come look at the statistics tab, and here you can find very useful information. This is a very fascinating chart. You can see the Bitcoin historical prices in dollars for the last 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, 30 days, 7 days. Look at these price increases. Bitcoin is up 25,000% in the last 5 years, 350% in the last 2 years, 200% in the last year, 105% in the last 6 months, 22% in the last 30 days, 4.27% in the last 7 days, and today it's down 2.5%. But yeah, you can go down here and look at Google search volume for Bitcoin. That's a pretty interesting one. Google Trends Summary. So you can see the search results for Bitcoin since 2012 is starting to look parabolic. That's a good sign. More and more people are looking up what is Bitcoin. And yeah, I'll let you go through these other tabs up here and just figure out yourself. This site is continuously updated and changed, so there's all sorts of good stuff here. Here's the percentage of miners signaling SegWit, segregated witness. If you're not familiar with that, that's another interesting topic to look into. Bitcoin is pretty much at a standstill with the blockchain debate. Segregated witness is one way to fix it. Well, you can look into the details of that. Right now it's 26.74% signaled. The activation level's 95%, so seems really unlikely that it's going to hit 95% support. I mean, all it takes is 5% of the miners not to want it, and boom, there you go. It's not going to happen. So seems pretty obvious that the future of Bitcoin block halving is going to, be multiplex. There's going to be several different varieties, I think. That does not mean Bitcoin is going away by any means. I think it's very strong for Bitcoin, but I don't think there's going to be one solution to the block size problem. Anyways, I just wanted to share all these websites with you to check out things for yourselves. If you're new to the space, these are just a few websites of the ones I check out a lot and look at statistics. This is where I trade. This is where I buy Bitcoin. This is where I send other people to do things. These are the sites that I have over time become trustful of. I've been in the Bitcoin and altcoin space since mid 2013. So in the crypto space, that's old. It's pretty old school. So I've grown trust in certain systems and databases and services, and these are a few of them. Anyways, guys, I hope you learned something from this video. Please check out my website at bitinformant.com. You can find other useful podcasts, videos, and maybe something that you'll find useful and informative. Please like and share this video and get it out there. Alright, guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.